And we just drove from Ohio to North Carolina with no heat in this damn Suburban. What day is it? Today's Friday?
It's Friday, yeah.
It's Friday.
We started our weekend a little early.
It's Friday. We are in North Carolina. What town is this?
Hoffman.
Hoffman.
The building says it right
Hoffman, North Carolina. And thanks to Clifton Cottle and Parnell and some of the other North Carolina crew, we got to race last night. So we drove from Ohio all the way to North Carolina. All in one shot. We left around, 1:30 in the afternoon. By the time we got there, we were froze to death. The Suburban lost the heat halfway there. I think the heater core plugged up or something, but regardless, Billy and I were sitting in the front seats, and by the time we got to North Carolina, our legs were frozen solid. Colder than hell. It was so cold that night. I was in a lot of pain. I just sat in the Suburban most of the night and tried to keep a little electric heater we had plugged in the Suburban blowing on my legs. But we had a good time. The guys from North Carolina took good care of us. Everybody was great. So what'd you do? You lost third round?
Yeah, so I went out there third round and Dad drew my chip, and of course he drew the fastest guy there and put me in the bad lane.
It's my specialty.
So I went up there knowing I had to make a perfect pass to beat that guy, because I just seen what he did in the right lane, and I knew that right lane was fast.
The right lane was substantially faster, but
So
we made it. First off the trailer. Who'd you run? The dud?
the dud. Is that what they call it?
I think so. God, I hope so.
Yeah, I don't. You might want to figure that out. 'Cause it might be.
I'm pretty sure Tyler's or Lance said they call it the dud.
We ran Rooney from New York in his Nova, and I put a pretty safe tune-up in it. Basically had a Virgin Road tune-up in it, and it took it well. Even though it was so cold, it made a good clean pass. I looked over at 500 feet, and he was probably 2 or 3 cars back, so I just I let out early because I was feeling myself get closer to the edge of the road, and I didn't want to get off and make a scene. So I got that done, and then I got to buy a second round.
You didn't feel like farming last night?
I didn't really want to go through the pine needles last night.
So here's some video of the first round run with the dud from Long Island, New York. They're allowing us to do 2 burnouts. And anytime they allow 2 burnouts, I always get Billy to line up a little bit to the left of the groove, and then we do first burnout, and the second burnout we do to the right, and then I back him up right in the middle. To be honest, the truck made a much faster pass than we were expecting. Due to the density altitude being so good, it was 1,000 feet below sea level. Even with pulling 15 degrees of timing and leaving on gate pressure, the truck still went a mid 140, 60 foot right off the trailer. So second round, we pulled the buy.
Second round, we pulled the buy.
And we definitely felt the left lane wasn't as good, so that's why we took the buy in the left lane.
We went ahead, made a hit in the left lane, and I turned it up. I basically just put timing in it. I didn't change the boost, and it didn't like it at all. It went slower than my first run.
But the crazy thing is it looked faster.
Right.
Like everybody from the starting line was like, wow.
And
I
it
even
still
thought,
was. I mean, I guess, I don't know if it was fast or not by their standards, but it was slower than my first run by a tenth, and I let out at 500 feet on the first run.
Right. So definitely had too much wheel speed in the left lane with that tune-up. So when we came back up and I drew your chip for third round, and I did such a good job that I paired you with one of the fastest cars and gave you the worst lane. That's my job. It's what I do.
Yeah, he was fast, man. I don't know where he came from, but I guess he's been on Street Outlaws. He raced on the South Carolina crew. He raced Brent Self.
He's a nice guy. Their team was no bullshit.
Yeah, they're legit, and he's got a good program. That thing is hanging a 6-foot flame out of it. But anyways, we went to race them, and I knew I had to be on the light, so I guessed it, and I just came up a camera frame too early. And he came up beside me at 600 feet, and I could hear his car, and I seen the fucking flames in my peripheral. So I was like, we're not gonna let that happen. So I grabbed the scramble, and it slowed his progression to almost a stop. They're right at the finish line, and I don't know if we would have left even if I'd have had him come up on me early like that again, or if he was right beside me the whole run, I might have got on it earlier. I don't know if it would have taken it or not, because the previous run in that left lane, it wasn't taking it at all. But I had wheel speed early in the run, which kind of sets the pace and the whole deal. Against him, I didn't have any wheel speed. It actually picked the left front up, carried it a little bit, even pulling timing. The air was good.
The density altitude was like negative 1,000 feet or something, you said?
The air was really good last night, so it was making stupid power on no boost. And, that's something that we got to think about when we're down here racing on this track, too, because the air is so good. Might have to turn that distributor a little bit.
Well, it just so happens I brought my timing light.
Because, it runs 630s on gate, and everybody I talked to said it's not going to take that off the trailer.
We finna see.
So I don't know. I don't know if I can't turn it down past gate pressure.
So, in other news, CJ's here, right?
Yeah, my buddy CJ's here. We raced him last week. He beat me in the finals that little cash days.
So
he showed up this morning.
C-Bucket made it down here this morning. What did he leave? 4 o'clock this morning?
He left at 4 a.m. Showed up here at like 11 or 12. Must have been hauling ass.
That's CJ. He's always flying. So CJ's here this morning, and he knocked on the door bright and early, and he messaged me a little bit ago, and he's already at Rockingham, and he's got us a parking spot down there close to the starting line, he said.
Really?
Yeah. So he said there's already a lot of people there, people getting set up, so that was nice of him. He got us a pit spot down there. So we're just sitting here eating Cheetos. The life we live.
Donald Long would love that one.
Yeah. So we're gonna go get something to eat. Tommy and Allison, I think, are getting in the shower, and we're gonna go to, what is it, Texas Roadhouse? Is there a Texas?
Yeah, there's a Texas Roadhouse.
There's a Texas Roadhouse not too far, so we're gonna go do that, and I don't know. Hard
Play
tell.
with the RC car today.
Oh,
hang
yeah.
out at the track, just have some fun. That's what this weekend's about. Just having fun. Like, there's 128 cars entered, and they're all from all over the country. It's nice to get to see everybody that you don't get to see all year.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of cool people last night, like Lance and Tyler and Binkley. Don't get to see them very often.
Parnell and Clifton.
Yeah, get to see our southern people too. Get to see, Jake Boswell, the nerd.
So that's the story for today. Having fun, screwing around, visiting with people. It's all good. I'm just so glad we're not freezing today.